Hello, everyone. Today we'll be discussing this question from October-November 2024, variant 1-1. This question that I have in front of me is question number 10, and this 10th question is of 10 marks. Remember, 10 marks out of 60 matter, and they matter a lot. They turn out to be around 16 to 17% of your total marks. In that case, scoring well in this question automatically means you stand higher chances of getting a better grade. One. Number two, if you learn the right way to attempt this question and then you practice it, there are more chances that tomorrow when you sit in the examination hall, you'll feel more confident. And if you're answering this question in a structured manner, as per the requirements of Cambridge, there's nothing that's going to hold you back from hitting a 10 on 10. Before we proceed, remember this particular evaluative question is graded in terms of levels. There are 5 levels that you all see in front of you, and this is what we're trying to aim at. That is level number 5. What are the requirements for level number 5? There should be good evaluation, which includes the named issue. I'll tell you what the named issue is. You should be thoroughly addressing both the strengths and weaknesses and in detail. And number 3, selection of evidence, whatever the evidence is that you've selected to write in your answer, should be very thorough and should be effective. So if I number this, you're expected that there would be very good evaluation. And what makes an evaluation a very good evaluation? You should be thoroughly addressing both the strengths and weaknesses, and you should be doing this in a detailed manner. Number 4, your selection of evidence, whatever the point is that you're choosing to write in your answer, it should be very, very thorough, and at the same time, it should be very effective. Now, what exactly is this named issue, right? So if you're looking forward towards scoring anything between 9 or 10 marks, your answer should have this. Now, what exactly is this evaluative issue that I've highlighted in green over here? Taking you back to the question over here reads, evaluate the study by Bandura et al. Aggression in terms of 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses. At least one of your evaluation points must be about validity. One of your evaluation points must be about validity. Now, this point, validity, this requirement from the CAIE, we're referring to this as our named issue. Now, what could be the possible strengths and weaknesses amongst others? If we speak about the strengths and weaknesses, you could evaluate this particular study in terms of its reliability, talk about how the procedure was standardized. You could talk about how quantitative data was gathered, the validity of the study, or you could also show that because there were children involved in this particular study, there would be less demand characteristics. On the other hand, if you move on towards the weaknesses of this study, you could write down points about ecological validity because the study was conducted in an artificial environment. You could comment on the ethics, the generalizability of the findings, quantitative data. Again, as much as you could use this point in strengths, you could also use this point in limitations. So these are a few indicative points that you could use as strengths and weaknesses amongst others. Now, quickly hopping on to how we'd go about answering this question. Now, for this particular question that is in front of us, that was conducted by this on a study that was conducted by Bandura, Ross, and Ross, and this study was on aggression. This core study was on aggression. If you want to score 10 on 10, that is full marks on evaluative question, one of the suggested way through which you could do this or attempt this question, we refer to that as the SSI structure. Now, what I'm talking about over here is the SSI structure. Now, as we use the word SSI structure, this is just to help you stay on track. This is just to help you prepare in a more disciplined manner. Now, this SSI structure that I'm naming over here, the first S over here refers to stating the point, stating the strength or the limitation. The second one has the second S that I used over here is showing, or in other words, linking it to that particular part of the study that shows that that strength is there. And the third one is the third I that we have, the third alphabet I that we have over here refers to the impact or the impact that that particular point or that particular strength or weakness could have on the credibility of the study. Having said that, if I talk about this first point, first paragraph, now if you see this, there are four paragraphs that we have over here. The first paragraph has to do with a strength. The second paragraph is about a strength. The third is about a weakness. The fourth is about a weakness. Now, a frequently asked question at this point is, what about the introduction? You do not need one. I think I'm very clear when I say you do not need an introduction, because remember, for this 10-mark question, you would just have 15 minutes to write an answer. So since we're not getting marks on the introduction, we're not writing one. How do we take a start? You take a start to this question straight away. Now, I've written the first two paragraphs about the first two paragraphs that you see in front of you. They have to do with the strength. The last two have to do with the weaknesses. Is this the only way you could do this? No, this is just a teacher prescribed way. I mean, if I was a student, I would have preferred doing it this way. It's on your discretion. You want to write down a strength, weakness, that's on your discretion. But know that most of the students, they follow this particular method where they write two strengths right at the top and followed by two limitations. Now, taking this ahead, another frequently asked question is, does the named issue always have to be the first does the named issue always have to be the first strength? No, it isn't necessary. If you have a look at this answer over here, you see that it is the named issue. We've used it in the second paragraph. I mean, if you want to use it in the first paragraph, do so. There, it doesn't really make it much of a difference. So taking this ahead, the first strength. One strength of Bandura's study is that it was highly standardized, meaning the procedure was controlled and could be replicated. Now, this is when I'm stating a strength. This is when I'm stating a strength, right? Now, taking it ahead, all children were exposed to the model for the same amount of time, that is 10 minutes, in the same room, and were later observed under the same conditions. This is when I link that strength to a specific part of the study. Now, what sort of impact is this going to have? This ensured that the study could be repeated exactly, allowing for higher reliability. Because of this, the results are more consistent, meaning we can be more confident in the link between observing aggression and later aggressive behavior. Do you see how I've divided a particular strength into three parts? The first is when I state it or state the strength. The second one over here is when I show how that strength, show that particular strength from a specific part of the study. You could also refer to this as linking it to the study. And the third one over here is the one that I've highlighted over here in green. Is this is what shows us about the impact this particular strength is going to have on the credibility of the study. So here you go, SSI, name it whatever you want to name it. You want to call it state, show impact, do that. You want to give it a name on your own, do that. It doesn't really matter. Now, taking this ahead, moving on towards the second strength, that is again a named issue. Hopping on to this real quick, another strength of the study is its high internal validity due to strict controls. One control was that each child's level of aggression was assessed before the study began, allowing Bandura to match children with similar aggression levels across conditions. Now, what impact does this have? This meant that the type of model they observed, that is aggressive, non-aggressive, or no model, was more likely to be the true cause of any differences in aggression later, rather than pre-existing aggression differences. Because of this, the study provides strong evidence for social learning theory, making it more credible. It's on your discretion. You can reduce this content, you can rephrase this content, you could make it simpler, you could rephrase this according to your own convenience. But know that these are the three main elements that your answer should have. Look at the color tags over here: yellow, blue, and green. Quickly moving on towards the limitations here. The first limitation: a major weakness of Bandura's study is its low ecological validity, meaning the results may not apply to real life situations. The study was conducted in a controlled lab setting, and the aggressive behavior was directed at a boba doll, which does not react like a real person. This means that in real world situations, children may not have behaved in the same way, making the findings less applicable to real life aggression. Taking it ahead, the second weakness, another weakness is the ethical concern that exposes children to aggressive models could have had long term negative effects on their behavior. By watching and imitating aggressive behavior, some children may have learned aggression as an acceptable way to interact with others, increasing the risk of them behaving aggressively outside the study. This raises ethical concerns about psychological harm, as some children may have been distressed by watching the aggressive model, which makes the study ethically questionable. Now, this is not a model answer. Of course, you can write a better answer than this. This highlighting that I've done over here in is to show you what to keep in mind. Remember, a disciplined approach to preparing for your CI examination would always help you. So let's quickly have a look at what the CI has to offer us. And what does this say? Example in detail, that is the named issue. One control was the participant being rated on aggressive was rated on aggression prior to the study. So Bandura could be more confident if it was the IV or the type of model affecting the TV behavior shown by the children, including physical aggression. Now you could compare this response with this response and then this response. That would give you a better idea as to what to follow and what to keep yourself what to refrain from. I hope this evaluative question was, I hope this revision lesson was helpful. Take good care of yourselves. Thank you.